before I start with the regular binding, because I'm going to do just plain red binding, it's going to be gorgeous on there. I want to do a little bit about binding in general and sewing it. First of all, I use only bias binding, and I'll tell you why as we go along. Now, to get a bias binding, if you've watched my video on bias, you'll know that to get a true bias, all you do is fold one of your side edges to the other side edge, okay? And you have automatically true bias. So we're going to cut that. Okay. And I'm going to lay this right up there and cut that fold off. Ooh, nothing like a nice sharp blade. Turn this around, and I'm going to use 2 1/4 inches. That's my standard size. So I'm going to lay the 2 1/4 on here and cut. Now, people are always afraid of bias binding, but you know, once you get used to it, you will find that it has so many advantages. I'm going to sew this together. Okay, next thing we have to do is take these pieces right here and join them. Now, everybody says, oh, no, odd angles, that's going to be hard. No, not really. Here, watch what you do. You're going to take these, you're going to lay them together like that. That's what you want eventually, right? So all you have to do now is take this and lay those 2 seams so they're together. There you go. Now, hang on, I need a pointer here. Okay, let me get this. Okay. You see where this edge comes down and meets this edge? That's where you start. And where this edge here meets this edge here, that's where you end. And that's it. That's all there is to it. Now, how wide this is, doesn't matter. It can be like this. It can be like this. As long as you start where this meets this, and this meets this, that corner. So I'm going to lay this out now. And hang on a minute, I'm going to go sew it. Okay, we're at the sewing machine now, and I've got this all lined up here. I'm going to start sewing, and I want to make sure that my first stitch starts right where this line meets that line, that edge. Okay. Now I'm aiming for this corner right here. Yeah, I think I'm going to make it. This isn't easy with the camera going. Oh. Okay, we've sewn it. Now, take notice. This seam allowance here is a little bit wider than this seam allowance here. Doesn't matter. As long as your stitching starts from that corner and ends at this corner. That's the important part. Now, watch what's going to happen. I'm going to take this, flop it over, and look at that. Perfect straight edge, perfect straight edge. So I'm going to take this now and finger press it open. I generally make a slightly wider seam, so that's a little easier, but that's fine. And there we have, ta-da! Isn't that great? And you just keep doing that until you have a great big long nice strip of bias for your binding. Alright, this is the binding we're going to put on that quilt. And look, it has no right or wrong side, and it's a big piece of fabric. So that's a little different than what we've been working with just now. Basically, you start the same way. You're going to take this straight edge here, and you're going to line it up with that straight edge there. And there is your true bias right there. But, whoa, that's way too big for the cutting board, isn't it? Ha ha ha. Put your finger there and put this over here. Now, it's just the right size for your cutting board. Isn't that clever? I didn't think of that. Somebody else did. We're going to cut that right there. Now watch this. Look at that. See? It comes right out there. Got a great big... Let me put that back there. And then we're going to start cutting the 2 1/2s. 2 1/4. Whoa, whoa, whoa. 2 1/4. I said that wrong. By the way, there's a lot of different ways of doing this. Learn them all, and if you prefer some other way, that's fine. This is just the way that I like, and I find that most people like. Okay, got that all lined up. 2 1/4. Okay. And like everything else, cutting is very important, so careful to do it. I need a lot of this, so I'm just going to keep cutting. Oh, now we're getting off the board again. Okay. 2 1/4. You think this is easy with a camera rolling. Alrighty. Bring it back far enough. Okay, I have 4 pieces there now. I'm going to show you a little trick. Alright, now here's my little trick, because this is a problem. It's so easy to get this entire strip done and have the seam on this side here, but on this side here. So, here's how I prevent that. I start with these 2 right here, line them up, and of course, you know, you just make a square here. And by the way, I'm using a light colored thread so that you can see where I'm sewing. And you know what? It isn't going to matter. Alright, sew this. Come off right there. Good. Now, here's what I do. You take this one right here, and you know that this right here is the right side. It has come from here all the way around to here. Okay, so you take the next one, you lay it down on here, like this. And again, I'm trying to keep my hands out of the way, so this makes it a little harder. And I'm just going to start sewing, keep right on sewing. I'm going to take this top one, and knowing that this is the right side right here, I just keep on sewing. Isn't that cool? And you'll always come out right. There we have it. And all we have to do is cut it apart. And we have nice great big long string with all of the seams on the same side. Ah! We're going to press this in half, and that's super easy. Just going to take this and lay this up to here like this, and I use a steam iron here, and I'm just very, very lightly pressing that in. And don't pull it. You don't want to pull this because it is bias. Alright? And then every so often just stop and let that poor little steam iron recover itself. If you want, a lot of people take a little toilet paper roll and they roll it up like this. I'm very sloppy. I just pull it over here. Now here's the secret to doing this. If you come down here, this doesn't want to fold on its own. And so you're going to crease that bias in an odd shape. Take this, press it, and now do this right here. So you're doing that all by itself. Now you'll find that as you come down here, it's just going to lay itself right in place. And nothing to it. It's just a matter of working ahead and preparing it. And then you just keep going until you get all of it done. Okay. See? Got your bias. Alrighty. Tune in then. The next step is going to be putting it on a quilt.